In this video, we're going to have a look at the tone curve panel in the develop module to see what the different sliders do. And as always, we're going to start in the library module and we'll take it from there. For the purposes of this video, we're going to choose that image over there. You'll see it's highlighted in white, which means if I now jump to the develop module, that's the image we're going to be working with. So we go up, click on develop, and we're good to go. Now the tone curve panel is located just below the basic panel. Open it up and this is the view that you get. You've got a histogram here, black on the left, white on the right, and all your midtones in the middle. And then these four sliders underneath with which you can adjust the highlights, the lights, the darks, and the shadows. Now if you've worked through the basic panel on top, let me just show you there. If you've worked through all of contrast, highlight, shadows, whites, and blacks, you're more than likely not going to have to make too many adjustments to the highlights, lights, darks, and shadows, because most of it will be done. But this just gives you more control should you want to fine-tune your image. Highlights, let's start there. Remember, a slider moving to the left decreases and right increases. So if we want to take the highlights and make it darker, we're going to bring it down to the side because we're decreasing it. Increasing to the other side will increase the highlight. So have a look at specifically the dress area, maybe the shirt, and even some of these bright rocks. If we take it from all the way down to all the way up. So you can now see the highlighted areas as I clock this backward and forward that gets affected by the highlight slider. So you can now fine-tune the optimal highlight position by using that slider. Keep in mind the areas moving now and compare it if we take lights and do the same thing. You see it's a bit more global now because it's not working on the extreme highlights but only the brighter parts of the image. Watch again, this is with lights all the way up and down, so it affects quite a few of the light areas versus highlights, which only picks up on the really bright parts of the image. Darks and shadows work the same. Shadows would be the dark version of highlight, which is the really dark areas, and then the darks would be more of a global change. So let's check it out. Let's start with shadows, all the way down. See, those are the areas then that gets affected. It's pretty global because we haven't got the brightest image in the world here. So that's kind of what's affected through the shadow area. Let's check darks. You see, a little bit more global, much closer together though. So, you can now go and play with those four sliders to optimally tune your image. For example, if we had to look at this, in this image, I would need to lift my dark so I get some textures on the rock behind here. Maybe the shadows up a bit, not too much, bring that down so I've got some pure black. Then I could look at the light areas, maybe need to go up a bit. Highlights, too bright, bring it down, something like that. So that's how you would use these four sliders to create more of the perfect contrast that you are looking for. Let's get them back to normal by double clicking. Puts each of them back to the middle. Double click and double click. At the bottom here you've got point curve linear. Click on this little drop down menu and you'll get medium contrast and strong contrast. These are presets which then gives you now a medium contrast. Click again, strong contrast, and then back to linear on the top here. You can also go and grab, you'll watch if my cursor moves along here, there's a little dot that happens on this line. I can then click and hold and I can adjust. You see the light slider at the bottom. So you can adjust it using the S curve as well. This is very similar to Photoshop, but these sliders at the bottom is what makes it easy to use. And the nice thing as always, it's visual. You can watch your image and see the changes happen as you make them.